All right, Kathy's, we're back. Hope everyone had a great long weekend. The next topic that is also getting a lot of steam and has tremendous financial impact on the rest of the country and rest of the world is Jefferies, which is a investment banking firm, came out and said that weight loss pills will lower airline fuel bills up to $500 million because passengers are lighter. That is unbelievable.
I think we actually hinted on this in a previous pod, but yeah, this is definitely a trickle down effect on so many different industries because I think they said it's going to be a net 2 to 3% positive margin on airlines, which is dramatic because airlines are single digit profit margins at best.
Yeah.
Most lose money. And yeah, we've talked about this. GLP-1s are the future of how the world's going to be saved in so many different ways.
Yeah. And I also think the other thing is like you're hearing about the airlines. So that also means car usage of gasoline should also decrease over time because there will be tremendous impact there. So people will have higher discretionary income also. And so it is honestly the greatest era to ever live in is always the present. And especially given what's happening with AI, what's happening with GLP-1, and then eventually what's going to all turn into from the robotics standpoint. There are so many deflationary things happening because of technology. It's an incredible time. And I think the other impacts of GLP-1 drugs that people aren't even thinking about, the most obvious are obviously just food intake is going to dramatically decrease. And with that, so what are the impacts of that? So you don't have to make as much food. There was always this fear about fresh, healthy food that's abundant that may become possible because there's just less demand for food. And so there's a lot of things where all of a sudden quality of life and just the health of the average person, particularly in America, I think America is going to have to lead the way in the innovation of this. Most other countries don't have the obesity issues of America. Some of them are catching up. Third world countries, a lot of those countries have it. But obesity is primarily an American issue that it will have a tremendous impact on our economy. And I think the other thing is I really think it's going to have a mood impact on the country also. Because at the end of the day, when you feel good, you look good, your whole vibe is different as a country. And so I'm very excited about the positive impact.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's just funny how the trickle down effects, we talk about airlines, they're going to be beneficiaries, right? But restaurants are definitely going to be hurt. People are going to order fewer dishes.
Yeah.
People are going to order fewer drinks because the GLP-1s actually stop your cravings for the third or fourth drink of the night.
Yeah.
And obviously dessert and all this stuff. And then will rent come down? That's the question.
It'll have no choice, right? It's not like commercial real estate is not socialism.
We just think about LA, the places we know in West Hollywood, Beverly Hills, everything's going out of business on a weekly basis.
Not everything. The best are thriving. The best are
but
crushing
it never used to be like that. Everything used to exist and the best would make more money. Now, if you're not the best, you're out.
I'm okay with that. That's capitalism.
Of course it's capitalism. My point is, when do rents come down? The reason why the businesses are going out of business is because rents are too high.
Well, yeah, if the landlord doesn't need to lower the rent because
the labor is too high and insurance is too high, all of it's too high.
If the landlord does not need to lower the rent, they'll never lower the rent. If they have an economic model that works for them where they don't give a shit, then they'll never lower it. It's just they don't care.
I do think, just in the areas we go, everything's empty.
I don't know. In LA and New York, when you're at a hot restaurant, it is fucking slammed.
No. The ones that are open are slammed. Everything's for lease.
Yeah. And I think that'll continue. We all know this, like doing business in Los Angeles is not easy. So there a lot of people don't want to enter an industry. Like the only way the restaurant business changes is maybe with robotics. You don't have to hire anybody. And having labor in LA or California is not a good business. And so you're seeing it happen in fast
Yeah,
food.
my point is the confluence of all those factors, GLP-1s, rent, labor, insurance, it's kind of damning for the restaurant F&B business in most metropolitan cities.
Yeah, we were probably similar to how we were over retailed a decade ago, where everyone thought it was the death of retail, and obviously nothing of the sort has happened. We just had too many stores. We probably have too many restaurants, and that's why the math doesn't make sense anymore. So fewer restaurants, flight to quality, like the better experience, the best food will survive, and everything else, like what's happening is delivery has become so second nature for the average person in this country. People are hitting up Uber Eats and Postmates and DoorDash and pizza and whatever it is all the time. There's such massive businesses now. So I think this idea of eating at home is also having a dent. If you can get the food you want in the comfort of your home, you do save some money. There's unnecessary costs associated with going out to eat, parking, gas. If you just want the food, maybe you're happy or paying a little bit of a premium to get it delivered to your home, but you get to eat it in the comfort of your home if you're not looking for that social aspect that, dining brings you. So,
yeah, no, I do think I see like David Chang and a lot of the old restaurateurs who've been around for decades. They are screaming the alarm bells of their industry.
Yeah, the issue is the local politicians in LA and California. That is the biggest problem in this state.
No, but it's not LA. They're talking about nationally.
Yeah. But I'm telling you, as my best friends own restaurants in LA, it is impossible to do business in LA because of local policies, minimum wage, their insurance, it's very employer friendly. It's employee friendly, not employer friendly. So eventually, like the prices go up so high that there's no point. It's similar to what's happening in the hospitality business at large. If you look at Delta's recent earnings, they're not even full, their flights, but they are sold out in business and first class. That is where they're making all their money. They're keeping those prices astronomically high. Like a full fare first class on Delta from LA to JFK, which used to be like $2,200 2 years ago, is $3,800. And it is sold out in every single fucking flight, LA and JFK. And it doesn't matter what status you are, because you ain't never get an upgrade. You could have all the certificates, and I have all of that. If you want to fly Delta first class, you have to pay. Recently, over the holidays when I went on vacation, the hotel owner, the general manager of this particular hotel said they keep capacity at 60% and they jacked up the rates because they make more money having less people, jacked up rates, and there's enough demand. He's like, at 100%, we can't charge this much, but at 60%, we can charge an astronomically high number for the night, and we make a lot of money and we're very profitable. So if you just zoom out, if you're in a city where there's wealth, the math works for these operators because you're only catering to such a small group of people. So, maybe fast food survives and really high-end restaurants survive. Like the fact that Noma, which is the number one restaurant in the world, is going to open their pop-up for 18 months in Beverly Hills, and it's $1,500 a person is fucking asinine. 1,500, but they know they'll sell it out because there's enough demand. Yeah, and that's my point. Like the restaurants who are catering to the 1% are going to be fine.
No, it's not 1%. It's 0.01%. That's
enough, though. That's 10,000 people.
But that's why we see for lease all over Los Angeles.
Yeah,
and that's a fact.
Yeah, but it's also retail. It is impossible to do business in this city. So until laws changed, There's not an incentive for a new entrepreneur or new restaurateur to go open anything in this city.
Yeah, there's no debate that the ultra wealthy are going to spend, whether it's Noma, you name your next Noma that comes to LA, everyone's going to spend the $1,500.
Yeah, I'm just saying until laws
takes
change,
like a couple hundred seats a week to make it profitable.
Yeah, I think the floor lease is going to increase until laws change. No one cares. Who cares? Who is incentivized to have more restaurants in the city? Like, no one cares. That's the problem. So it'll just be less restaurants. Like, who the city does not care. The cities happily walk away from business. They're anti-business. They don't care if anyone operates in the city or not. So until the leadership
the landlords don't either. So
yeah, well, they just don't want to drop rent. It affects their loans. They can't charge less rent. It's very hard to all of a sudden.
So everyone has their own incentive is the point.
Yeah, exactly. So, but if you're a government politician, your incentive should be only to help the city that you govern. Not a landlord is not the same person as a mayor or city council. Their responsibilities are very different. You as a city council member or a mayor, your responsible is to the citizens of that city. That's it. Not about what the landlord's rents are.
Yeah, but if the landlord can't fill the place, what's the point?
Yeah, but why not
He'll just go bankrupt,
why not
and
create policies?
He hands over the keys to someone else.
That's anti-business. So the
that's
method
not
of
anti-business.
No, it is. I'll tell you why. Because the city of Los Angeles should, if you are the city council or mayor of the city and you drive around and you see for lease, not one person is like, that's not good for the city. It increases crime. It's job losses. So if you're not incentivized to help your city, you're a fucking idiot.
So how do you incentivize the landlord to say, hey, instead of, X number rent, charge 30% less?
No, but no. See, that's different.
Why do you think all the hot restaurants, if you think about, hold on. If you think about Southern California, if you think about Los Angeles, all the hot restaurants are on the outskirts of the city. They're in Silver Lake, they're in Toluca Lake, they're in downtown. Nothing's in West Hollywood and Beverly Hills because they won't lower the rent.
Yeah.
All the chefs go there.
Yeah,
Long Beach. Yeah. They go to all these places.
Okay,
because they can afford to rent.
I know, but you're not appreciating that there's policy that needs to change also locally to incentivize entrepreneurs to want to open restaurants in the city. If you don't have people incentivized, the policy of like controlling landlords is like communism.
How can you policy a landlord to lower rent? You can't. So that's why they go to these places.
Yeah, that's fine.
Like,
but I'm saying
that's capitalism. Why do you think the hottest restaurants are not in the cities that we all talk about?
That's always happened though. Like it's like early Brooklyn chefs went there because of cheaper rents. But New York City somehow has still managed to keep some level of popularity of restaurants in Manhattan and that are still thriving. So it's all it is just going to alienate the middle class. It's fine. Rich people will always get their restaurants. They'll continue to eat. The policies are just bad. I mean, we can disagree on the policies. I don't think
it's not about disagreeing. I just don't think there's a mechanism right now that it's so
lower
obvious.
Property taxes.
Sure, fine.
Lower minimum wage, like make it incentivize people to want to open restaurants. Then they will. And if people don't want to work, they don't have to. If you don't want to work for this salary, you don't have to. You have
think
a choice.
People are voting, right? They're opening restaurants in the outskirts.
Yeah,
and they're doing well.
And yeah, I mean, and other people are voting differently by not wanting to open restaurants in this part of town because why?
Or they open and go out of business.
Well, yeah, even there's downtown LA is dead. I was in downtown 3 times in the last month. The restaurants are fucking dead. Their rents are cheap enough so they can survive, but the businesses are not thriving. The crime is horrific there. No one wants to walk around there at night anymore. 2019 downtown LA was a magical moment in LA history, and then COVID crushed it, and they never did anything to fix it. Like that's just unfortunate policy changes that eventually you gotta whatever. I mean, people are comfortable with the decay of the city. It's either gonna get new politicians that change, like my guy Spencer Pratt, or they're going to just continue on this path and whatever happens. My view is that there's policy that can be instituted that could potentially change the momentum of the city. And I think most business owners feel that way, especially restaurant business owners. Actually, we can have our friends on the podcast to talk about local politics and how it plays into the thought of opening a restaurant. Because I think they would be the experts because they probably have like 15 venues in the city. So we should get Brian and John on for that.
Yeah, no, I'd love to.
All right. I think this is really big news in technology that I think is incredibly interesting. ChatGPT is experimenting with advertising in the free model of ChatGPT. So I've seen a little bit of how they're thinking about it. It's going to be really important how they execute this because it is really the user experience is going to be incredibly important, and it actually has to convert, right? Like it needs to drive business to the advertisers, and if it does, it could be an interesting revenue driver for ChatGPT because everyone felt like this is where they were heading.
So ChatGPT or OpenAI has a lot of issues on their hand. Elon's lawsuit is in the flesh. He's asking he has $134 billion ask.
Yeah.
That's his ask.
I don't know if he's going to get that amount, but he's going to get something.
And he's tweeting, he says, I may lose battles, I never lose the war. Yeah. And he's going ham.
Yeah.
And OpenAI, I think they're doing 20 billion in revenue, which is 3x past last year, which is 3x past the year before. So clearly growing like fucking bananas. And I don't think Elon's going to stop. He does not care. And
I think
OpenAI also said they're launching a device today. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah.
It's unclear what the device is. Though. No, they didn't say what it is. They just said, OpenAI is launching a device. It is this is one of the like craziest business wars in the history of our world. You have I think OpenAI is probably 800 billion at this point.
Yeah.
You have Elon, who's the richest guy in the world, and they're going head to head.
I think OpenAI has a way bigger problem. So one of the things that I'll actually stand corrected on is a year ago, I said ChatGPT was the winner on the consumer side and that the enterprise side is going to be won by somebody. I didn't know who the winner enterprise was at the time. Yep. Now it's shaking out. Enterprise is Anthropic. They're in first place right now because of Claude.
For just more context, Anthropic is in the rumors that Sequoia and a bunch of other mega funds are doing a big round at $350 billion valuation.
So I know someone, I know a fund and the head of a fund that I met with a few weeks ago that was in their Series A and I think maybe Series B, actually Series B, I think. And he was so confident that Anthropic will be $1 trillion company. And this was just like a month ago. And I don't even know what the valuation was a month ago, maybe half of that. And he was like, we believe this is
probably $1 trillion in 3 months. So
yeah, exactly.
Right.
At the pace that they're growing and the amount of people that I've met in the last 4 weeks, literally 4 weeks that I've talked to about what they have built with Claude is fucking insane and like pretty generally mid to non-technical people. And then Google with Gemini has just exploded and they're exploded on the enterprise side and on the consumer side. And one of the big challenges that OpenAI will have and ChatGPT in particular is Google has all the advertisers already, all of them.
Yep.
Everyone who spends $1 on the internet and advertising is advertising on Google. So the distribution of customers is already there. Then all you have to do now is give the advertiser the product. So Gemini becomes really interesting because I don't know if you saw this, but you can now connect your Google Workspace account to Gemini. So that means you can connect your Gmail, your calendar, you did all this. So I just started playing around with it over the weekend and I connected my email and I said, what should I do? Like literally asked that question. And it went through like 3 and I mean, I'm going to keep testing. It's still early, but it kind of knew based on the frequency of back and forth emails that you really need to focus on these three things. And it was like pretty fucking spot on what the topics of the things I needed to focus on. And then it asked me, do you want like a morning brief on the task that you should take care of along with like meeting agenda stuff. So my calendar generally
it goes through your calendar and your email.
Yes. And so just think about it like this. Google has 20 years of search data on everybody.
More, yeah.
Most people have used Gmail or corporate, it has some sort of, a lot of
people.
They
went public in 2004.
So
they 20 went years in 2000, 2001. Yeah.
So, and then you have a lot of people use the calendar function. A lot of people use the emails. YouTube is the number one media property on earth and most likely getting way bigger. And eventually they'll integrate your Waymo data so they know everywhere you're fucking going. Google Maps is the most used map on earth. You start integrating and you start using that data into your Gemini workflow as just like a human being. The productivity boom people are going to have with Google Gemini is going to cause enormous amount of chaos for other companies because it becomes so sticky. And then for the purposes of advertising, it's all about targeting. And Google has so much targeting data on all of us that, man, like I'm now like Google's going to be the biggest company ever. Like they are the company to beat in my eyes right now. And it is just, they've been playing like a very slow, long game, but shit, it's coming together really, really well right now.
And the founders are dialed in. Larry and Sergey are in the office every day, grinding with Sundar at the helm. So you have
they're
like
not in the Palo Alto office anymore. They left that shit.
Yeah, wherever they are, they're working.
Yeah, I heard they're building some big offices in 2 states right now.
Well, I mean, Larry bought $175 million worth of real estate for himself personally in Florida. So we can assume he's working out there. But either way, they're working. Yeah, is the point.
I'm actually.
And Sergey, there's so many quotes about Sergey that he talks to Sundar like daily. And it's pretty amazing because you hear this from a lot of like the OGs, even though he's not that old. Yeah. He's like, I think early 50s. Yeah. And you hear about him, you hear about Mark Andreessen, you hear about Ben Horowitz, you hear about all these people. They're like, we've never seen anything like this. Yeah. And they're referring to AI and all the potential of what you can create. And all these people that you would think would have sailed off to the sunset and they've already done the yachts, they've already done the vacations. They're like, oh, wow, we can now create the next version of the world. Yeah. And they're all back in the saddle. Yeah. That is the coolest part about all of this, in my opinion, that they are so inspired because they don't have to be given what they've already accomplished, but they're all going back. They're like, oh, this is why we did what we did in the first place. Yeah. And I think that is why we're seeing so much excitement in AI because our best and brightest are all engaged and they're all working. Like, I mean, you're going to watch. Bezos is going to go back to fucking work. I already did. Yeah. I know he raised money. He launched and he launched AI competitor. Yeah. So, but like, he fucked around for the holidays. He's grinding. And so the other interesting thing is so I was thinking about from an advertising standpoint, Meta has another huge advantage on advertising because I think they've done a really good job of kind of instituting AI into their kind of advertiser workflow. The thing that I think they've completely missed on, which is just shocking, like WhatsApp AI and Meta AI just suck. Like they're in Instagram and they're in WhatsApp, and I'm just shocked at how shitty of a product it is, considering he's got as much money as anyone else on the block to spend on talent. So it's purely a vision thing. Like I think they thought they could maybe play around with the ChatGPT kind of world, and their chatbots just are completely useless.
And it just makes you realize like how much product vision really, really matters in executing all this stuff. I think AI in Meta is for advertising is enormously successful. I would say on the consumer side, it's still pretty weak. I mean, the fact that Reels still doesn't know what I want to watch tells you everything.
But Reels data is like exponentially compounding in terms of usage and engagement.
Because it is still the king. I mean, they got
and I've even seen data on Threads. I don't even go on Threads, so I don't know if how they're faking that.
Threads is fake because they're showing the impressions in your Instagram feed and they're counting that as a view. That's why.
Yeah.
No one is waking up in the morning and logging on to fucking Threads. You're a fucking loser if that's where you're getting your information from. Threads. Who logs into Threads? Like, ah, man, I get my morning coffee and read Threads. Nobody.
Yeah. That's why I don't get how they're manipulating the data.
I see people posting. I don't know why, but I see people posting on it. X1.
I think when they post on Instagram, they just like click the Threads button.
Yeah, I've accidentally clicked on Threads 10 times this week. And that's 10 impressions. But I'm not. If I could pay $3 a month to never see Threads ever again in my life, that is the best revenue channel for Threads. Not advertising. It's like people do not want to see any content, and I want to block anyone who posts on Threads. I'd pay $10 a month for that. I pay for an X subscription. I don't even know what it gives me, but I pay for it.
Yeah, I get annoyed even if I get a Facebook notification, and I get them all day.
Yeah, I mean, it's fascinating. All right, moving on. One of the big topics for us last week was around Nike, and our little clip went, super viral, and a lot of angry sneakerheads had a lot of really funny jokes about me. A lot of it was like, I'm not listening to a poorly dressed packy, which just the reason why I think that is actually an incredible insult. It is so thoughtful because, calling an Indian person a packy is the most insulting thing for them. For generational beef, it is such an incredible insult for that. So like kudos for that.
And why don't they like your jeans? I think your jeans are fine. They had a lot of issues with your jeans.
Yeah, they had a lot. Like Kumar was a lot of which that's funny. I don't mind that one. The real thing is that like Nike is one of these subcultures where people are so passionate and excited about it, and what happens is you insult their whole life passion. Like, how many people have been collecting Nike shoes their entire life, and now they're like 45 years old, and I'm telling them that like it's a waste because no one cares that you wear Nike anymore. It crushes your soul. I get it. It's like when people shit on like my team or my favorite athletes. It's a soul crushing thing. I get it. Like, but either way, the brand's dead. It doesn't matter. And the other option is another example of that is the college football championship is Indiana versus Miami, and they're both Adidas schools. They can't even pick the school right. This company,
right?
They're backing a bunch of schools that are not even going to the dance. How do you Miami not Nike? I get the Hoosiers. No one gives a shit about them till recently. Miami is the U. It's still a popular merch brand. Like everyone still wears Miami.
Yeah, the U's culturally so relevant, whether
Always.
The school is
like
hot or not.
Yeah. It's a global
Everyone
brand.
wants to do the U.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to do the U. And you have all these legends, and I agree. It's like they're both Adidas schools.
The joke.
And I even put it in one of our chats. I was like, this college football championship seemed like the biggest of all time.
Yeah. Well, because it's also like new schools, right? And it's
new schools, and the media is just so good at pumping it. You have all these sports shows and podcasts and game day and all these programs that are just feeding you the storylines. And yeah, they're both Adidas. They're not Nike.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know if you know the Complex guy that dissed us. Maybe you do, but he's wrong.
He was talking about his personal pick for Nike shoe of the year. which he said was Nike Vomero. Great shoe. That actually is a great shoe. I'm talking about the business of Nike. My take is very different. I'm not commenting on an individual shoe or a collab or all that shit. I'm commenting only on the fact that, like, as a very large business, they have existential issues that they have to face. And the thing is similar to brands, technology companies face this every day. If you don't innovate, you die. And we're watching this happen in real time. Like Salesforce, which is just like legendary software.
You can look at
Salesforce real quick. I've been talking to, so Salesforce is a CRM. It's basically a way to, manage your sales relationships. And it's been this legendary company for 25 years, huge business. And it's basically been slaughtered in the public markets because with AI, you can build the exact CRM you want. I was a Salesforce customer briefly for 1 year. It was a disaster. Implementing it was a disaster. It wasn't fit for our business. And it was just very, very difficult. And now I read these stories and it's still stories. I've only heard one person actually build something that replaced their CRM. But I've been reading a lot about companies that said, hey, we used to pay Salesforce $400,000 a year. And we challenged our engineering team to build a custom CRM for our business. And they were able to build it. And so if that happens, shit, you better watch out. Brands can die too. If Salesforce can die, Nike can die.
Of course. That's like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen every great company that we always thought have died. Macy's died.
Yeah.
Who would have thought Macy's died 25 years ago? It's dead.
Yeah. I mean, it's still a $20 billion business, but it's just not growing.
But the point, it's not culturally relevant.
Yeah.
Nike's going to spit out 50, 60 billion in revenue no matter what.
Yeah. Yep. Very interesting. All right. Your boy, Larry Fink at BlackRock is in Davos, which is just hilarious. Like the jokes on us who used to listen to whatever anyone at fucking Davos says. I don't give a shit what anyone at Davos says anymore. They're literally circle jerking each other all fucking day at Davos. Oh, actually circle jerking. It's not even a facetious statement. That's literally what they're doing. Everyone there is just talking their own book. And BlackRock, which is run by Larry Fink, basically came out and said he had this whole spiel around how capitalism must evolve because of what's happening in technology that, like, whether it's job displacement, it's just more fear. He's pitching more and more fear. And what's interesting, I highly recommend, everyone is pitching the fear angle. I want you guys to all go look up the founder of Grok and a recent video he did where he talks about... I watched
it. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes.
I watched it.
That is the world I believe in. He is in the cutting edge of AI. And what he is saying is AI, which I've been fucking saying for 2 years on this podcast, is the most deflationary thing to happen in our lifetime. And what's going to happen? He said, food's going to be cheaper. Coffee's going to be cheaper. Everything's going to be cheaper. That your time is going to get freed up. The amount of money you need to live and retire will be less. And because of that, we're actually not going to have enough people to do jobs. And there's going to be a job shortage for those people that actually need to work, that actually need to fill all these jobs.
What he said was the opt-out economy. You can opt out of being in the economy as a labor person.
Yeah. Because
it's a great video. I watched it. I know exactly what you're talking about. I watched it.
And a lot of it was around, like, people forget, like, and he referenced this in his thing, 98% of the population worked in agriculture in the early 1900s. So whatever job you're fearing is going to disappear.
But his point was 98% was in the early 1900s. We got it down to 2%. So whatever the job is today, it's going to get down to 2%. Software engineering did not exist 100 years ago. Yeah. It existed today. It's not going to exist in the next 100 years. But there'll be new
jobs created. And that's why the job displacement argument is just, it's actually, I know, lacks intelligence if you look at history.
No, it's not even job displacement. It's actually job displacement. His point was you're not going to have to work. That's what Elon says too.
Yeah.
Because he's like, everything's going to be so cheap, you literally don't have to work. Yeah. You can go be a creative. You can go write a book. You can create a play.
Yeah. So the biggest challenge then society faces from that is you have to keep people engaged, and that is a lot of the things that people are talking about, is like, how do you keep a society engaged if they don't have anything to do, because everything is going to be amazing. So
right, yeah,
and that, to me, that is the new industry opportunity, is like, we are still competitive spirits. Like, we will find things to compete against, right? Like, if it's not the work, it'll be the sports. If it's not the sports, it'll be something. It'll be chess or whatever. Like, I'm pretty optimistic that like the actual future will be in how you spend time. How do you fulfill your day and create that energy you need to push forward on a daily, to have purpose? Like, how do you do that at scale with hundreds of millions of people, right? Because like, look, that the future is going to happen in the United States first. Like, there's so many countries are so ass backwards. They're so far away from an AI robotic world. Like, they have so many political issues that they have to overcome. But between America and China, those are the two places that I think, we'll have to face that like existential crisis around like, what do we do with too much abundance? Like, that is a business opportunity.
Oh, 100%. It's like, how do you occupy people's time?
Yeah.
That's the opportunity.
Yeah.
And if you think about it from like a 15-year perspective, that's honestly one of the biggest horizons, because it's happening faster than we think. And what that is, it's going to take some very creative entrepreneurs, and even the Grok CEO is like, I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Well, he's not the type of person. He can only predict the future from a technology landscape. I don't think he's the type of person. So here's my belief, is that because they've democratized access to technology, like what AI has done, what we're going to see is regular people like me now have access to technology that allows me to be a creative and execute on something technical the way that I want it. And that is going to have a profound impact on society, because you're going to let people that have never had access to technology dictate the future now. And that is going to be, this will be so exciting, because
that's actually the creative explosion that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because it's like the 99% that we always talk about that never knew how to be technical. Yeah. They can use their creativity to build out shit. Because we talk about this all the time. How many people that have come up to us in the last 20 years, I have this idea, how do I build it? And the answer back then was, you go raise a bunch of money and maybe you can build it. Now you don't need to raise shit. Just go build it.
Yeah, you could. And that's where I believe is, for me, the fragmentation of entrepreneurship. It's going to absolutely explode. You're going to be making money at home and allowing yourself to have a higher quality of life. That's my continued belief.
Yeah, it's going to be it's actually going to be the democratization of society, because anyone can do it.
Yeah.
You don't need that like silver spoon, get to Penn, Stanford, Harvard.
Yeah.
You name your college. You don't need that anymore.
No, you don't. The reason why those places will still thrive is if you have money, go to college. It's fun.
Yeah, if you're going for fun, great.
Yeah. But that's for wealthy people. That's what it is.
Yeah, if you can hang with Barron Trump, that's a fun time.
I mean, whatever. Imagine being an Indiana Hoosier right now. You win a national title. Like, it's fun.
They just won.
Yeah. So like, those are why not go to college, go see a natty? Like, that's the best experience of your life. You're going to make friends. You're going to build relationships. Like, you're going to learn how to communicate. You're going to meet all these interesting people. Yeah, shit. I believe college is going to explode. It's just going to be like restaurants. It's only going to be the best colleges that you're going to provide something.
It's going to bifurcate for sure. Yeah. You're going to have a handful of amazing experiences, and the rest will not exist.
Exactly. There's just too many colleges. It's the same thing. Too much retail, too many colleges, too many restaurants.
Yep.
All right. The big news in LA, which I think a lot of people were surprised by, but I kind of said it was going to happen. Rick Caruso is not running for office. And he
bowed out.
He bowed out. And I think, like I said, dude, if you're him, you're such a legend in this city. You've done incredible work. You got to be content with in your mind that you have had impact. But dude, politics is a fucking dirty game. And if you're not down to go get, wrestle in the mud, you shouldn't do it. It's not meant for for like.
And he already did it once.
Yeah.
So why would you do it again?
Well, some people are addicted to it, right? Like there's a lot of people that run every year for these offices and never win. I've seen names on these ballots for 25 years. They're still on it. They never win.
But I think Caruso's unique in the sense that he has actually built his own community across his businesses.
Yeah.
Like his employees love him.
Yeah.
They absolutely adore him.
Yeah.
So at the Grove, if you go to the valet, it's the same guy that's been there since it's opened.
Yeah.
I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. I see him every weekend, and every time I come out, he's very like hospitable. He always like helps us and, stroller, blah, blah, blah. And he always takes a moment to tell me how great his boss is.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Which is probably like unique for someone who you're talking about a valet guy.
Yeah.
And the boss is worth 5-6 billion something. And he's the best person.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what made
So he's already built that. He's already built it.
Yeah. That's why he's content as a human being. And he's fine with, I'll fight the good fight, from, from the Grove water fountain.
Yeah. And I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to do it if I were him. He's already done it. Dude, he's already built the city, in my opinion.
I think what you're going to continue to see is people, there was this moment with social media where when people came into money, it was like very much in your face the last decade. And I think, there's very limited upside, in my opinion, to showcasing your wealth in today's society. Like, I think it's only downside. I don't know what the upside is anymore. I think in the past it was like, okay, I got some fame and I get it. I got attention. I got fame. Today, it's people they can't accept other people doing well. They'll want to drag you down. And so I don't see the point of these, like, all these people that have amassed all this wealth to kind of poke their head out at this point. Just keep it.
I mean, even Kara Swisher and Ro Khanna. Kara Swisher is worth millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And she went on a podcast with Ro Khanna just bashing rich people. I was like, you're rich.
Yeah. Well, that's a typical liberal elite. Like they always do it from the ivory towers.
Yeah. I was like, are you in the encampments helping the people, or you just want to talk about Larry and Sergey leaving?
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the beauty of free country. You can do whatever you want. Your wallet dictates. That's your best vote.
The thing is, like, and you think about these people, this is the sad part, because I know this from just being around like medical stuff. The amount of money these people donate, the billionaires that are like running out of town, it's absurd.
Yeah.
And they don't promote it. They don't advertise it. And I hear about it. It's insanity.
Yes.
And they're doing it at the biggest research hospitals in California, and you're kicking them out.
Yeah, literally. It's so much. People don't even realize how much money is leaving the state. How much? And
they're still going to donate to those hospitals. That's the crazy part.
Yeah. They're just dumb. That's what I'm saying. The local politicians are so fucking dumb. I can't even explain to you how dumb they are. I hate them. I fucking hate them. I can't wait till Spencer Pratt becomes mayor, then the governor. We're taking him to the governor's mansion in Sacramento.
When's he coming on?
I have to ask some people. I haven't reached out.
I mean, I think I don't
know if he has a team to ask. I gotta hit up Heidi. All right. Not a shocking revelation, but we've talked about decline of China for a while. China's population falls again as births drop to lowest rate since 1949. And, they ended this one-child policy 10 years ago. And they cannot get people to have sex and have kids.
So
They
your
literally
view was,
cannot do it.
your hot take a few pods ago was that the 1.3, I think 1.2 billion, which is what's reported, you think it's 500 million.
There's nobody there. The whole place is empty.
And you're just using the birth rate now as just reinforcing that same take.
Yeah, I think now it's like so public. They're like, oh shit, we have nobody here. Like, I can't tell you how poorly, like, you know, what's so funny? Everyone goes to China. I was in China last year, right? And you see, it's a very innovative society, right? On technology wise, it's unbelievable what they're building there. But they're not happy. Where do they all want to come? They're all having birth tourism in California. And they
Pacific Islands, right?
Yeah, like the issue is China did some masterful work for a very, very long time. And the combination of this one child policy and then now what they did during COVID has basically, they're fucked. Like, you can't have population decline when your economy is that big. You just cannot have it. And no immigration, right? They have 0% immigration and then population decline. Dude, like, they need AI and robotics so bad because they cannot make their population work anymore because there's no fucking jobs about to be there.
Yeah, so Zahan was right.
He was right.
We have to call him by his right name now. Can't call him Zohan.
Yeah, I won't call him Zohan. But very impressive
Zahan.
call. Good call by him because, like...
He called it like 2 years ago. He's like, the country's toast.
Dude, Taiwan's going to be bigger than China at this point. Losing people left and right.
I mean, they do have, like... No one that has wealth in China wants to be there because it could be confiscated immediately.
Yeah, not just... I mean, like, I think the problem is just, like, inherently, they have not created a society that can scale and function over time because, like, population decline, what they draconian measures during COVID, like, that place... Yeah, fine. It's super innovative and they, you know, robots deliver from the sky, whatever, but who gives a shit if you have an unhappy society? And that's part of the reason why they're not having children. They said costs are too high. It's like, it's so funny because, like, you know, they're still like educating their kids for what? Like the same competitive level. If you following AI, that shit don't matter. You should be teaching your kids how to communicate, be socially, emotionally available. Like, there are skills that are going to be so much more important than being really fucking good at math. And they're not understanding that.
No, they aren't. Because if you think about even social media is kind of the equalizer, and you don't see Chinese influencers as the biggest on the planet.
Yeah, I mean, all of China's influence is based on K-pop.
Yeah, which is not their country.
Yep. Maybe they should take it.
Take Korea?
I mean, everyone's just taking whatever they want now. China can take Korea.
U.S. as an ally.
Yeah. There's always a deal to be made with this president.
Yeah,
you have Korea, I get Greenland.
Fair. I want to talk about Bermuda.
Okay,
Coinbase,
we can end on that.
End on that. So basically, in Davos, every elite's there, all the banks, all the bigwigs. Coinbase announced that they are basically taking Bermuda, which is a relatively small country, but they're putting it on chain via Base and Circle, which is their proprietary services that basically allows the citizens of Bermuda to transact via stablecoins, so they're not subject to kind of geopolitical risk, currency destabilization, and a way that you can instantly transact. You're not waiting on 3 days to get your money if you're a merchant or anything. And it's like the first country in the world to do this.
Right.
So we'll see. It's a great test.
It is a good test. It's a small enough economy where, like, things can go wrong and it doesn't, like, crash the economy.
Yeah, and I think it probably will increase economic activity in Bermuda. And
yeah, it's so nice when you have great politicians.
Well, they just they took a photo op with Brian Armstrong. So
yeah, that's why leadership matters.
But yeah, no, I'm excited to see how it works.
Yeah.
And it's not forced on the politicians, or edit that. It's not forced on the citizens. You can opt in or opt out. So we'll see how many people opt in.
Yeah. We're good. We're good to check in 6 months.
Yep.
All right. Great episode. We are going to end it with a couple shout outs. First one from Leslie. I wanted to wish my husband, Dathan, a happy birthday. He's a longtime Kathy and a big Bama fan. He loves the pod and will often tell our friends about it. Diana, I met you at SC through my friend Stevie. I wonder if it's Stevie Asau, because she's still a very close friend of mine from childhood. Fight on and roll tide. Two, unfortunately, loser schools right now for football. Sad. Very sad. From Jay. Shout out to my wife. I've made her listen to pretty much every episode since 2018. It took a couple years, but she's now a fan. Couple years. We recently had our firstborn this year, and she's honestly the best mom in the world. Group chat is part of our family now. Many hours in the car with our newborn is accompanied by group chat. Shout out to you guys, and shout out to my wife. Her name is Priscilla. All right. Amazing. Lastly, from Sean, shout out to my Canadian homie, Ahmad Gahari. He was looking for an alternative all-in, and so he's a first-time listener. Sean, is that your boy? Amazing. Well, welcome to the pod. And sorry you live in Canada. All right, Kathys, we will see you all later this week.
Yep, let's do it. Peace.